good morning. Daddy Chris from SRTV studio in London, and this is Wake Up Nigeria. Salah. Hey guys, I know you guys are happy. Some people have ram. They're gonna cook it already, and it's a great day. So we're gonna say a very, very big happy celebration to our Muslim brothers and sisters. And I'm happy with the message that is coming from the president. We need to coexist. We need to appreciate one another. You know what I like? I talk a little bit about religion today on this show because at the end of the day, we only talk about the forms, not the substance. When we look at the substance of all religion, they are all the same. And today I call on everybody in the world to join the Muslim and celebrate. If you get somebody, tell them to give you ram. Tell them to give you rice. Eat, celebrate, be happy with them. Because the essence of religion is to actually to connect you with God. So for those of you that doesn't understand, the word religion, re is connect. That's to re. Legion is connect. The word legion, look at your dictionary. Legion means connect. So reconnect, that's religion. You're reconnecting with God. You're already with God. What religion does is reconnect you with God. And it does that in so many ways. It does that through Christianity. It does that through Islam. It does that through so many ways. The most important thing is you are reconnected with your Maker. And that is what celebration of Easter should mean for every one of us today. It's not for the Muslim alone, but for every single one of us for celebration of Salah, please. And don't forget that I'm going to make a couple of mistakes as we move on. But today is what it is. Of course, as usual, I have Mary and Princess in the studio. They are here and they are excited. I'm sure they have a lot to tell us today. So how are you guys doing?
Fine, Daddy Chris.
We'll start with Mary. Mary, how is Abuja, the Salah celebration and all that? Daddy Chris is saying people should go and eat ram. How many people were actually able to afford the ram? Knowing fully well that Nigerians have been crying that they are not able to. Ram is now almost 1 million. So a lot of people are not able to afford it.
But you must not eat, you must not buy ram to have celebration. I'm sure so many people can afford it and they will share. I know Muslims, they're not there. They're not that greedy. They will share with their brothers.
Even Nigerians, we saw few Nigerians that are worried that their landlords were able to buy ram and cow, and they are thinking that there's going to be an increment in their rents because it's obvious that after they must have spent on their money in buying that, they will be the victim of it all. Is that serious, you know? Wow. But anyway, Mary, how is the celebration in Abuja?
Yeah, the celebration. I would say it went well because you can see our Muslim fellows really were shining yesterday. So you know fully well that something was actually happening. And today, I think the celebration continues today. But as regards the round, what I actually heard is, before one person can actually just get round for him or herself, for their family. But this prayer looks like they were sharing it. Maybe
that's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
You said
they should share.
I said that is good. If they are able to share, that is still good, you know.
They were sharing it. You see like 4 families, they come together, they kill one ram and share. But they said that was not how it was happening before. Before you just get a ram for yourself. But that was not the case this year. But the thing is, when I saw when they were selling ram, I think while heading to Apo, there's a particular place that they are selling ram.
That is where they sell it at opposite the
cemetery. There's no money. They say there's no money, but how comes when you pass the amount of ram you see when you are coming back again, you will see it there. Like it was reducing every time. Even like on a Saturday, it was that obvious that these people were actually buying. So I was not asking myself, I thought there's no money. How comes the same ram you see, the bunch of ram you see when you come back, you're not seeing them again? You understand? The place is now cleared. People even selling meat. Normally by 6 you can still find meat in the market. But from 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, they were not there. All the tables were cleared. That was when I knew that this is serious. Like on a Saturday, it will be difficult for you to get meat. And they said things were expensive. There's no money. So that's it. But the celebration actually went so.
Good. So
and we go ahead, Daddy Chris.
No, I mean, I heard one lady saying the good thing is the only problem with a society like ours is some people have it all and some have nothing. And that is why we're asking for a more equal society where we all can have a little share of the Nigerian cake. The cake belongs to every one of us. That naira you hold in your hands is the Nigerian naira. It's not that the Chris naira. It's not Mary's naira. It's Nigerian naira. And that is what unites us. By the time we all don't have a share of it, that's a problem. because my name is there. I am a part of the naira. That's why I exist. That's why I'm a Nigerian. And when my interest is not represented, there's an issue. And that is the thing we keep telling our leaders, we keep telling those who are more opportuned. I don't think anybody is really smarter than the other. I don't think Dangote is the most smartest man in Nigeria, but he happens to be the richest because he's more opportune. And he plays himself. He used it well anyway. Let's give credit for that. For those of us who are not opportune, we must also accept our position. And I think sometimes Nigerians also they don't want to even. I don't know what we are competing about. Sometimes we want to believe in God, and we don't believe in the God. If God does not want you to be too rich, are you fighting for this worldly thing, or you are fighting for heaven? If you are fighting for heaven, why do you need all the money in the world? Why must you buy a ram of your own? Is it not to eat and pray to God today? Is that not what Salah should be all about? Why do you want to kill your own ram? What are you killing ham for? Who's going to
No,
eat it?
I think is their religion for a household to actually kill a ram during this big salah. So it
I
has
said
been
it
a
just like
But I know Islam will not force you that you
no,
must
no,
buy.
no, no, no. It's only for those who are able to afford, and
Thank
those
you.
who are not able to afford cannot share, like what Mary said. Now that is
Exactly.
what their religion
you know
says.
that there is a point you get to and you get used to something. There are people that at least there's someone I know, he's old now. That man, every Salah period, he kills ram. So somebody like that, they're already used to it for years. And I expect them to go and do otherwise. You understand? They always want to go for that ram, even if it's around them to share. So it looks
Yeah.
like it's a cultural something, it's in their
Yes.
religion. You understand?
And we
Like they
appreciate that. And I think it's a good thing to know that we have to share and enjoy whatever we do. But if the landlord and the our neighbor say here, he said my landlord and neighborhood didn't buy you. I didn't see anything like that before. Things
I
are
then
really
want this. There's something actually happening in Abuja, Gwarimpa area. It's becoming too much. I don't know. There was the time I talked about it.
Killings in the clubs,
You said,
killings in the clubs.
yeah, this one is actually one volcano hotel in Gwarimpa, but it cannot be that same Gwarimpa. There was a time somebody came for, I think, visa application here in Abuja. That wanted to go to the embassy, and the hotel he lodged in Abuja, they attacked him, and he couldn't even go for the interview. Now, the one that happened this weekend was that same Gwarimpa. This time around, they actually called the name of the hotel. It's called a Volcano Hotel, and they shot a DJ there. They actually rushed the DJ to hospital in Jabi. That was where he died, and they robbed all the people that lodged in that hotel. And it's actually affecting even the residents in Gwarimpa because it looks like the place is not safe. This happened the first time, and it's happening again. They come to a hotel, they rob and they kill whoever they want to kill. They take away things and they go scot free. Nothing happens. And
My
Gwarimpa is
problem
actually a area here in
my
Abuja.
problem is that other hotels are not being, they are not taking precautions. We see that it happens like twice, and they are still there. You're doing club, you're doing nightclubs, you're doing night lodge and all that thing they do hang out. Knowing fully well that this thing has been happening around, we know that things happen. There are sometimes you just go. There was a time at Maitama, do you call opposite Maitama, that hill,
Is it
where
Gishu?
where they were actually going from house to house, and it's as if they were taking turn. When they stop in this house today, the next day they will continue from that place they stopped, and people actually were not vigilant that these people will keep coming, and they had to to do something. Even I had a friend that had to move out with the family. So at the end of the day, the volcano issue, I saw the police statement. The police is saying that they were not informed on time, even though residents are accusing them that look at police here, look at army here around the place. But during these shootings and all that, they didn't come to rescue them. I say, that nightclubs too, the music could really be loud, and night music and all that. So apparently, police will not be aware, and the police said they're on top of the issue. But I'm also thinking that these people that owns nightclub, that owns hangout, they should find a way to to make sure. I know it will be difficult, because it's night, and people actually having for you won't know who is a robber and all that. But I think they should also. I've seen the police statement on that issue. Anyway, we have another issue in Nigeria, that is the cholera outbreak is spreading to other states, and we have a doctor that will be joining us. Dr. Bodiete will be here shortly. He will be speaking on cholera, what is cholera, how we can avoid it, and of course what you must do at the, especially this flood, because it's spreading also through the flood and all that. These are some of the serious issues we have. And of course we have Finidi, your man has resigned. Mary, what happened, you know?
And
We
there's been a whole
Man
lot of drama
will be
between him and
coming
Osimhen.
as well. Mantis will be coming to talk on sport issue as well. He's a sport legend, and they did the unveiling of Kechi way back then. He'll be on the show this morning as well. But what actually happened, Mary? We see that Finidi, just like Oli said, you know, has gone. You see that Nigerians who cannot respect our own and the players, you know, somebody told me yesterday that, you know, these players, they have money more than Finidi. How do you think they will respect Finidi? Only Osimhen's wristwatch is more than all the money they've paid him. So how do you think he will respect the
That is
man?
what we
I
are
don't
saying.
think
I really
he
don't
will.
know why Osimhen not being in the match. I know, I understand that the guy is good, but you people have actually made him, you understand that he's so special. Because I think something happened during an interview. And Osimhen outburst has been an issue, and I think Peter side is against Osimhen as well. And in the interview, I think they wanted to know why Osimhen was not part of the match. So it looks like Osimhen had injury before, and according to him, he reached out to Finidi about it. Which Finidi asked him to be with his family, no problem. So it was maybe like on a chat, on a video or something like that.
We know that
So
story,
I,
but now Osimhen is saying and Finidi is saying something else. So
yes,
I
Finidi
think
said he cannot beg a
I
player.
think
He
yes,
cannot
I
beg a
think
player. You understand? But why Osimhen is angry is that Finidi was the one that asked him not to worry. You understand? That he should be with his family. So why is he coming out to say that he cannot beg a player, you understand, to come and play for his team and all of that? So that is why. And I think Peter side, on the other side, feel like Osimhen disrespected Finidi, and he was saying that they should ban Osimhen from the national team. I don't know how that would play, Sha, but the story is still there. We don't know what's going to happen next. But Finidi has resigned, though. He has resigned. Because how will people say you want to bring somebody to come and head him? So it means he's not competent. That's what we're trying to say.
anyway, we know that unlike foreign coach that our people will always respect, when they see a foreign coach is like a mini god to them. Maybe that will make the players serious. We've not looked at that angle of it. You know, we always clamor for indigenous coach, and now we have one, and we've seen that they are not actually, you know, Nigerians have been they are we've seen reactions saying that they are not the man is not the right man for the job and all that. It's actually a shame, you know, that he didn't have to stay this long. It's actually a shame. Anyway,
But
let's move quickly to the
we
next.
have been okay. I wanted to say we have been the one talking about uh personally. Personally, I've been against the foreign coach idea, right? Let's try our own. If I know that yes, this time around we have to try our own. But I feel like they should have actually calmed down, take their time to get the best. Because right now it looks like we came up with a foreign coach, but okay, with African coach, sorry, but not really what we want. You understand? Because right now, not just because we're here saying everybody has been criticizing Finidi. They've been talking about how Finidi is not good for this, how he cannot really do well in this. So we don't even know how come he was there. They know better. According to what people have been saying, we have a lot of people that can coach us, a lot of people that can stand out and do this thing better, right? Because what I've seen here is pride. Osimhen feel like Finidi didn't handle him well. Finidi feel like Osimhen didn't respect him and all of that. So there's no way the team will go well. And as a leader, I feel like there's a way you should apply wisdom to make things work. So that's just it. Are we going back to the foreign coach? The same foreign coach that we've criticized. So why not still try someone else from Africa? Is it not better that way?
Anyway, it's going to be. I don't know what is wrong with NFL, but I'm happy that Amantis Ojete will be here today to tell us why we're seeing this from NFF, what's happening with NFF, and these issues with NFF as well. We move on quickly to the papers we have this morning, and let's start with the Punch. What is happening there, Mary?
Okay, let me check the big story on the punch. Okay, the big story says a Salah celebration. Tinubu, Buhari, Sultan, and Khan prefer solution to hardship. And the writer says, President urges citizens to share with one another Buhari seeks return to farm. And we have a story here that says 17 billion naira debt. GT Bank drags 60 bank chiefs to court. And that story is on page 24 of the Punch newspaper. Food inflation soars by 61% in 1 year. This is coming from NBS. And that story is on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. Minimum wage. Federal government pushes 62,000 naira pay despite Labour's opposition. And that story is on page 9 of the Punch newspaper. And here we have a story that says crude supply. Modular refineries back down with a sustainable intervention. And you can find that story on page 23 of the Punch newspaper. Two falling trucks worsen gridlock on Lagos Ibadan Expressway. And that story is on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. And here we have a story that says cholera. Lagos opens emergency center. UNICEF urges water provision. And that story is on page 6 of the Punch. Police probe death of US-based businessman in Lagos hotel. And you can find that story on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. And here you can see pictures of our Muslim faithful in their Salah celebration and during their prayer hour. These are all the stories you have this morning on the Punch.
Quite a lot there, and we saw the cholera story on red here. Right, Punch, cholera, Lagos Open Emergency Center, UNICEF urges water prevention. It comes with flood and is becoming very serious in Lagos. Children are involved, adults are involved, and
Yes.
so it's something we should talk about. And we can see beautifully Muslims faithful here across the pictures there having their prayers. To say congrats to them. And there's a disturbing story here as well. Police probe death of US-based businessman in Lagos hotel. It's quite unfortunate that you will be in somewhere, then you come to your country. The day you come to your country, you die there. So the regret of, oh, I shouldn't have come back here, is really sad that we are not safe in our own country. How can you be safe somewhere else? You move around freely. I don't know where is safe as well, but at least there is an
I feel
mm.
bad because it's not looking like Nigeria is now the worst country. Like the way they are painting it as regards insecurity is the place people will not want to be. You
Is it
understand?
painting
Like
it or is reality? There's something about painting means you are not telling the whole
I know
story.
it's reality, but the way it's there, like it's even worse. It looks as if all of us here, you understand? And that is what we are seeing every day. So it's painful that this is a country where you come from and it's actually not portraying a good name out there. Everything they want to talk about Nigeria is a lot of negativity. Then does it mean that this is not getting to our leaders? Are they not like are they cool with the kind of name we actually receive in this period? But they travel to other countries. They feel safe traveling to other countries. They enjoy traveling to other countries, and the country that they are ruling is not giving out a good name, and they just come about it. So the insecurity issue in Nigeria is alarming. Is really painful. That I feel like honestly, the federal government they should do something about it in any way they can because they have been so silent about it, even though they come and say they are working, they are doing something about insecurity, but we are not seeing it. We are not seeing the proof. Even though I even saw a news where the police along I think Abuja/Kogi Road where they killed 3 bandits. I saw it, but do you know I'm still finding it difficult to believe. You understand? Because these people have been doing a whole lot. So anytime I hear that the police maybe during their search they found some bandits and killed them, sometimes I find it difficult to believe the news, even though this news service was even Punch that carried it. I feel like they're not doing enough. They should do more as regards the insecurity issue in the country because it's so bad right now.
Anyway, there's a story here that says 17 billion debt. GTB Bank drags 60 bank shifts to court. I don't understand. Are other banks now owing GTB banks? Are other banks borrowing, you know,
Hey, they should not
from
joke.
GTB? That is serious. We
Let's
had
not hear another heritage story again, no.
eh
Because Heritage Bank have not even resolved whatever issue they had or whatever
uh
issue they have. People have not recovered their money. They're not bringing GT to the picture. No, no. Me, I'm backing with GT. Oh. So let's know what we are doing. It's important.
Ha, that's serious. Anyway, the minimum wage issue here, federal government pushes 62,000 paid despite Labour's opposition. I don't know how that will play out, but we already know that Labour is already frowning at that 62. Labour is even frowning at 100,000. And we have senators like Ned Wonko coming out to say that anything less than 100,000 will be a mockery of our workers, will be inhumane, will be wickedness on the part of government. And then we're not seeing that anyway. I do hope that I know that that matter is already on the table of the National Assembly. They are just waiting for the Salah celebration to be over so they can deliberate on it. But we do hope as well that likes of Ned Woko will stand, others will put their voices to push for further. At least 100,000 is not it, but at least, because 100,000 will be 1.2 in a year, and we already know that a house rent of a
I
normal
don't expect another strike because what I'm seeing here is federal government not bound to whatever Labour Party want to see. Sorry, the Labour Union want to see, right? And I feel like Labour, they will not relent in this because there is this energy that they gave during this period. I said when that strike commenced, you see them everywhere in every offices with their cars. They actually staying there to make sure that people are not working. You understand? So I feel like maybe they will not succumb to the 250 that Labour actually requested for. Then this is another strike.
And
And
even
this
if they
strike,
succumb, I want to believe that very soon, sooner or later, we're still going to be hearing issue of minimum wage. We want an increase again. Because we already know that when something goes up in Nigeria, it doesn't come down, and that is
you know,
where
you
the
asked a very
problem
important
is.
question last week, Prince. You asked a very important question. And that has been my worry as well. You said that if they don't control the price of these goods, the way it's going high, does it mean that Labour will still come up again every time to request for increase in minimum wage? Are we going to keep increasing the minimum wage? When because the price of things that has gone high in the country, definitely they are not coming down. You were talking about why not they consider reducing the price of things. You understand? Because let's say they are collecting this 250. Before you know, things will continue to get high. 250 will not even have value as the money. When you receive 250, you will not see the value. So it means they will now still request for another minimum wage with time. So this is how we're going to continue back and forth. To me, in as much as the minimum wage is important, we should also consider price reduction in this product because it's not funny. Like I went to buy pepper from the 200 that they used to share now it's now 500. It is now 500. You can imagine in this kind of place.
Now,
They want
now, 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 let's marry this story to what was saying now on the Guardian newspaper, because I think the Guardian had a better perspective of it, analyzing the issue here. Mary, take the headlines.
okay of the Guardian.
Yes.
Okay, the big story says minimum wage debate. Market realities peg ideal minimum pay for Nigerian workers at 104,400 naira. And that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Okay, I think there's a price adjusted minimum wage 102,000. We have young price adjusted to minimum wage. Wow. Um,
And that is the breakdown. And the more
150.
disturbing thing on the right side of the paper there, it's Tinubu's team considering 69,000 naira minimum wage as
Yeah,
negotiations nears closure, and we have governors push for average of
you can see
52,000
I'm annoying.
minimum wage. And of course, there's a story here as well that says we this breakdown here of price level adjust minimum wage. We have different prices here. Now we look at the commodity, right? The
Yeah.
commodity of average family, what they can spend a month and all that. And you find out that yesterday I saw a footage, a video rather, of a mother beating the daughter. Why would she go and cook her rice without her permission? She actually gave the daughter noodles and egg to cook. And after she went into to rest inside, the daughter went and dropped, I think she broke her egg, and instead of making the empty noodles, she decided to make rice and crayfish, oil rice and crayfish. So, as a child,
I
not
don't
really,
go feed her stomach now. Somebody
yes,
like you do for me.
As a child, she now, I think she overpacked the rice, so the rice became so much that it's supposed to be for the whole family, and she was crying that I wanted to help you, ma. I wanted to help you and cook, ma. And you could see that the mother was so furious because the mother was saying she bought rice 99,000 for a bag, and even then she used to buy full bag, but now she had to buy quarter bag, and now the daughter has succeeded in wasting the rice, the crayfish, the red oil, and all that. So she was very angry. Now, what am I trying to say is that the average Nigerian, if you're getting a bag of rice for 100,000, for 80,000, and then your minimum wage is even 60 something thousand, how are you supposed to cope? And then we're getting, common bread, ordinary bread now is now 1 5 2,000 2 5. We can't get anything. Not everything is expensive. So I think it's actually very, very wrong that the governors up till now, they are not they are dragging foot. They are the ones actually slowing federal government. Imagine if the governors, they had energy to say, okay, I think we can try. Government also will want to try, even though we want them to pay something that is sustainable, something they can continue paying. We know how much is going to the state, regardless of amount that is going to the state. I think the state should look in within as well, like we always say on the show, to generate something, an income, that okay, this specific production, or this company or this thing is for workers, is to generate income to the state. But we've seen so far that states are so reluctant when we talk about minimum wage. In fact, they don't even want to hear it, and they don't want to hear local government, they don't want to hear minimum wage. So I don't know where we go from here. I really do hope that whatever happens, we know that the breaks, people resume work in Nigeria on Wednesday, and so whatever happens, we do hope also that like I said, the likes of Ned Nwoko in the National Assembly that always speaks for the people. We try so much to push further a little.
Honestly.
Take other stories we have.
Okay, still on the Guardian, right?
Yes.
The story here says President Fort New York Times report blames dead economy for hardship. And that story is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have a story that says tension in Rivers as tenure of local government chairman ends today. And that story is on page 28 of the Guardian newspaper. Here we have a story that says Muslims groan seeks change in policy over high cost of goods. And that story is on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. How heat wave pests scarcity of tomato losses. And that's on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. 12-man gang allegedly kills 24-year-old father in Ibadan. And that story is on page 9 of the Guardian newspaper. Cholera outbreak, provide water, UNICEF urges Lagos. And that story is on page 5. Gunmen kill 6, abduct many in Sokoto community. And that story is on page 29. NLC rejects AGI stance on minimum wage. Senate leader seeks truce on federal government's offer. And that story is on page 6. Ladoja faults Makinde over Olubadan designates health status. And that story is on page 7. And these are all the stories we have this morning on the Guardian.
Hmm. I saw a story here as well that actually caught my attention. Apart from the cholera story that is heartbreaking, there's a story here that say how heat wave pest stare scarcity of tomatoes losses. So how is the tomato situation now, Mary? Is still very scarce?
Yeah, formerly you see like let me say 6 7 for 8,000 naira. But now
And
it's at
that
the
is because you are even close to the north, or you are the north
yes.
central. Because my girlfriend yesterday that did her birthday in Delta State called me, and she said that she bought 4 seed for 1,000, and the four is not even very
Okay.
big; they are small. And normally, before, she used to buy the one of 2,000, or maybe rather she used to buy the one of 800, 700, and make stew,
Yes.
and make stew that the children will eat from Monday, taking to school till Thursday or maybe Friday. But now we've seen that Even the one she bought for 3,000 is not enough for her to do normal sauce. And so she was confused yesterday. She called me that what can I do? I really want to cook for my children. It's my birthday, but what do you suggest and all that? So
That price,
uh,
so the last help her reduce the cost. What I'm even trying to say is it is now 1.5. Princess, this is not funny. Maybe I don't know. Or even though okay, I know that you're in London. Okay, it's cool. You even have people that are calling you to even explain. So I want to imagine if you actually have this experience. You understand what we are saying? This is serious and this is
I
sad.
understand exactly. I understand exactly. I have a friend who sells tomatoes. One of their bookies very close to me in Abuja. There, actually, he brings to my house. So I understand when he said that Princess is not business as usual. Sometimes I don't go to the market because instead of wasting my transport is expensive. I rather just stay. And the few times I have to go is because of my customer. I really don't want to lose my customer. So Abdul is not somebody that complains. Abdul is somebody that the whole fish market in Apofor backs on.
No.
And before he will be saying such a thing, then we know that it's a serious issue. It's really sad. And now federal government is trying to say presidency first New York Times report blames dead economy for hardship. I don't know why presidency is fighting it. The whole world is seeing Nigeria now. People are complaining, the residents everywhere are complaining. It's on the news, hardship.
I
And
don't
so
know.
if other nations decide to peep into our country and write a report of how people are suffering, I don't think this is the problem with federal government. They keep hiding until things will actually go out of hand. I remember then when people were begging the ex-president Buhari to bring in Okonjo-Iweala as an economic expert, you know, to give her opinion or to advise on the economy, because the economy was fast going down then. And they bluntly refused because they felt that she has been associated with PDP before, and so they are not going to do that, or that's going to be demeaning to APC, or it's going to make people look down on them. But even experts were begging them, look at the likes of Okonjo-Iweala that the whole world is reckoning with. She's no longer in Nigerian level, she's at the as international level. Look at Adesina Peter, he's no longer at Nigerian level. These are people on farming agriculture. They were actually begging Buhari them, bring these people, they will help you. You don't need to even appoint them. Fix a meeting with them, with your appointees, let them give their opinion. And they refuse. So these are some of the issues. You won't go and meet experts when these things are at a place where we can still control them. Look at Gwarimpa Killings now. It's a place where security agency can control, can lay siege, can take control. How big is Gwarimpa? We have army base, we have police, we have this, that, there. And up to now, nothing is being done. Police will always come out to say, oh, we were not informed on time, we were not told on time, so we couldn't do anything. We're on top of the matter, as usual. And then when you see an outsider coming to say, oh, we see this thing has been happening, just like the other day, the director of FBI was in Abuja on Friday to say, okay, how can we help you people on this security? Nigerians, we keep blaming that, oh, they are here for selfish reasons. No, you are not able to put your house in order. Somebody will help you put it in order, because they believe in human rights. They believe in putting saving lives and property as well. Is really a sad thing. Just before we move away from here, let's
Yeah.
talk about uh, tension in Rivers as tenure of local government chairman ends today. I want to urge people in Rivers State, if you know you don't have anything serious to do, stay indoor.
Staying there. Rivers has always been a place that is very hot, even on the normal. Apart from these political issues and all of that, it has always been hot. So you can imagine something like this. They know by themselves. They know that they will stay indoors. You don't need to tell them because anything can happen. Honestly,
Yes, they should stay indoors. We don't want a situation where somebody just say we went out something, flying bullets or something. The way it is now, pro wiki and pro fubara, I don't know what's up with them, but we know that the city is actually hot, like the news actually said, tension. And so to avoid story that touch, or to avoid being on the news, stay indoor. Thank God it's public holiday today, so you can actually just stay indoors today and tomorrow, and by Wednesday, maybe the tension would have actually died down and you can go about your normal business. But for today, I think people should actually stay indoors.
Yeah.
Let's move quickly to the next newspaper we have, and I think we should take the Daily Trust.
Okay. And the big story on the Daily Trust: Nigeria needs sacrificing citizens to progress, and that's is coming from Tinubu. And the writer says, address current hardship. Sultan tells leaders. Buhari, Abdusalami Khan, others call for unity. And that story is on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And here we have a story as AFDB launches network to spur home grown solutions to debt challenges. And you can find that story on page 19 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Senegal joins oil producing countries, begins production. And that story is on page 29 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Salah in Kano without splendor of Juba. And that story is on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And I think these are all the stories we have this morning on the Daily Trust.
There's a very I don't want to use the word disturbing,
Okay.
but the story here that Senegal joins oil producing countries, begins production. Don't forget that Nigeria used to be top in oil production, and now that we now seeing oil everywhere, I think this is the right time, to diversify. The former president of mining said it the other day. We are no longer the best, when it comes to oil producing. In other countries, oil is now everywhere, found in every country. And so they are not producing their own. And so when you think that you can always rely on oil, you can always oil will always sustain you, it will be a lie to always believe that. That was what the woman said the other day.
So,
So I think that this will be a good time. We actually all the time we clamor, all the time we call on our government, to make sure that we diversify, we try something new. As also this would be a good time, if other small nations are not going into oil. That is the time for Nigeria as a nation to go into something bigger as well,
yeah.
change the narratives, go into we have other natural resources, we have farming, we have everything. So I think it's a good time for them, to
But it's just that the farming is difficult. Somebody was asking me that how many people farm. Now, do I farm? And a lot of people, they don't even engage in farming.
we are not
But
talking about that kind of farming, we're talking about
I'm
mechanized
asking the
farming.
person that the kind of product that will farm, is it something that will get to people, that people will get from, you understand, or benefit from? How many things can I farm? I'm talking about that large system of farming, you understand, that that people will benefit from. Those people cannot go to the farm because of insecurity. That's what I'm talking, not the house owned. Just the small thing you just plant in your house. Is that the kind of farm? How many things will that one do? How can that one sustain me? We are not seeing the fact that people cannot go to farm because of insecurity issue. They're talking about now how many of us farm. That's not the issue. The issue is because of insecurity issue, people cannot go to the farm, and it's affecting us here. They are coming to tell us that it's one insect that affected the tomatoes. So the insect that affected the tomatoes in all the farms that made tomatoes to be that expensive. No, now it's beyond what we think, honestly.
Hmm. Anyway, a story here that Salah in Kano without splendor or Duba. I understand the hardship also and the insecurity. Maybe next year will be better. And the president is saying here on the main headline that Nigeria needs sacrificing citizens. Nigerians need sacrificing citizens to progress.
Yeah.
I think we've seen people sacrificing, but when the president is talking about sacrificing, what are the people you have in your cabinet? Are they
Don't you have
sacrificing?
sacrificing leaders for the country to
Yes,
progress? Must it be citizens?
you
So that
get. My question. That is what I'm even saying. You are talking about people. What of your senators? Are they willing to? If governors, are they willing to sacrifice for the workers now? Well, is the minimum wage we've been clamoring about that they are not dragging their foot. And so when you say Nigerians need sacrificing citizens to progress, I have to take that story twice because I'm not even understanding it. What do you mean by that? Even the president, is he sacrificing? So these are the things they say, media mumbo jumbo. You come, you say something is a press release, will carry it. It's a shame, to know that Nigerians are salad, they are not able to celebrate well the way they ought to. And then we still have governors flying abroad with their deputy, with their speakers. They are somewhere now, living life, living life. And we are not able, to meet up to to their lifestyle. Of course, we don't have the money to addresses current hardship. Sultans tell leader address current hardship. Buhari, Abdulsalami Khan, others call for unity. How can there be unity when there's hunger in the land? First of all, you talk about how to resolve hunger issue. You first of all talk about how how we can actually stabilize security. At least when these things are okay. I think Nigerians were not lazy people. We are ready to work.
We are
We
not.
work a lot, and you can imagine before now, prior to now, the amount of things we produce, talking about agriculture, amount of things we do. Nigerians are hustler. I put myself as an example. I left home the moment I graduated. I was off my parents roof. I was already hustling even when I had an offer to stay in my house, to walk around my street for then way back 150K. I rejected, and I started with a salary that was not even up to 40K. I had to travel. I just said, okay, I'm going to hustle. I don't want to be tied somewhere. I don't want to be at the mercy of people or
Yes.
family. I just want to see what the world has for me. And that will help you also progress on yourself. And so I think Nigerians were actually hardworking people. The youth are actually trying. Is Nigeria, you will see that ladies now self are not doing tiling work. You see young men leaving the house,
Doing those hard work.
graduates. Yes, graduates are now they do all kind of work. They don't mind. They just want to earn the money to take care of themselves and their families. And so I don't think we're actually lazy people. We have been sacrificing as well. It's left for our leaders to. I think Buhari should have, rather Tinubu should have channeled that statement to our leaders. Our leaders are supposed to be the one to sacrifice, not we the people. Because I think Nigerians as citizens, we have actually sacrificed enough. And so I think it's the time of our leaders, the governors, not to not sacrifice, the elites, the lawmakers to sacrifice. You're talking about we should sacrifice, but you forget that the governors, they don't even want to sacrifice. Look at minimum wage as of today, they are still saying 52,000. What can 52,000 do for a copper? Let's start from the coppers. Let alone a family man, an average family man. How much is house rent? How much is housing? How much is their medicals? How much is feeding? And so I think Tinubu should have directed this question here. Nigerians, they sacrifice citizens to progress to the lawmakers. They should cut their expensive lifestyle. All those SUVs they buy for trillions, the SUVs they buy for so much money should be reduced so that I see that Falana will always say the looted funds and the one they are still looting is enough, more than enough to pay workers for a period of years. And I think that's a very good statement. We move quickly to the next newspaper, and let's do the Vanguard.
Okay. The big story on the Vanguard: foreign portfolio investors in massive return to Nigeria. And the writer says, as market share rises to 28 months high, shores of external reserves. Analysts attribute development to CBN's hawkish monetary policy. And that story is on page 21 of the Vanguard newspaper. And here we have a story that says, Il Kabar, Tinubu, Shetima, Buhari governors can others preach peace and sacrifice. And that is on page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. Makinde lacks power to crown new Olubadan. And this coming from Ladoja. And that story is on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper. Here we have a story that says, if we knew what we were getting, okay, if we knew where we were getting involved in, we wouldn't have. And it's coming from Dangote. And that story is on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. NFF stabbed me in the back. This coming from Finidi. Replies Osime as Peter side, Igalo, Udeze, Toro, and Ichebe wait in. And that story is on page 30 of the Vanguard newspaper. And we have a story that says Tinubu inherited debt economy. Presidency tackles New York Times. And that story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Minimum wage, labor, and tripartite committee chair in verbal war. And that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Pandef to Tinubu, removal of arrays are provocative, And that story is on page 28 of the Vanguard newspaper. And these are all the stories we have this morning on the Vanguard.
Hmm. We see that a lot is coming from the Vanguard. But first of all, let's look at Dangote. What is Dangote saying now? He's not running away. They've not even started. He's
Like that
already
airport,
fired.
I don't understand. If we were getting to, we wouldn't have. So I don't. Is he? Where is he pointing at? Is he as regards our refinery? Because I think a lot of people actually have hope on that his refinery. You understand?
Yes,
So
it's actually the refinery because we're not expecting him to supply us, instead of going out to buy. We're expecting him to actually supply us the product, and he's not telling us that if they knew what they are, what they were going into, they wouldn't have. Okay,
is he
okay,
giving up? Is he
problem,
giving up at
problem,
this
oh,
problem? You know
problem.
the please
This
no.
is problem. Please, Dangote, you are the only hope because we are not feeling that maybe when we start having home supply, the price of the fuel will reduce a little. And if we do not, please, Nigerians cannot. This one will even make labor just shut down, pata pata. So please, Dangote did promise something with this his lips. Don't come and be saying something else now. You should have envisaged this. You should have thought about it. At least this is not rocket
From the
science. You
start.
should have carry your
Even they have
experts.
been talking about this refinery since they have been announcing it. We have been rejoicing even when they have not even started. So we
And
should
at
not.
the point when we're supposed to be enjoying it, you are not telling us that. That means all is not well, oh Mary. All is
That's it
not well.
now. All is not at all. Every sector has problem. Tell me that sector that is flourishing, that is working right now in this country. Every sector has problems. It looks as if even the business people, everything they're doing is going down. It's not working. And that's why you see that even people that have invested in Nigeria for so long, companies they're kind of shutting down, you understand, relocating to other countries. So it's sad. It's sad. It's only God that knows how we are surviving in this country. Oh. Nigeria, we are the
And
strongest.
then we're seeing here minimum wage labor tripartite committee chair in verbal war. Of course, there will be war since you are not doing what they want and you are not being trying to be fair as well. It's something about agreeing to labor, and it's something to say, okay, we cannot actually meet up, but we can do a reasonable thing. But what they're offering right now is not reasonable, is unheard of anywhere in the world. And I think labor should stand on their ground and they should grind until they get there, because this is the only time they can actually get it though, because after
Yes,
now you
now.
cannot come in the next 2 months that you are shutting down again. So if you want to
That's
shut down now, let's know that you're
not to
shutting
shut
down.
down. You continue. Because this is when everybody is actually putting their eyes on labor, putting their hope on labor, and saying labor don't relent and all of that. So you can imagine if they're not doing anything at this point, you cannot come back later and say you want to start taking action. It is now. If you want to go on another strike, start it. This is the time to start another strike. Then if you are not, fine. Because I don't know if federal government will actually accept to pay that money that labor is requesting for. But let's see how it goes though.
And what is it that how did NFF stab my nigga in the back? My friend, my friend Finidi. He said
But
that
I
NFF
know that
stabbed him in
as
the
long
back.
as we are not giving a good result as regards this match, and you can imagine
Somebody
the
this day,
public
Mary, a sport analyst
winners.
yesterday told me when we were speaking, told me that the problem with our indigenous coach is that they run to sign contracts without contracts that are not viable,
Yeah,
contracts that are not sustainable. Normally, when you bring in a foreign coach, you can't tell them, you sign serious contract because you are the one hunting for them. You go and look for them, right? And now it's not them now, coming to hunt for you. And then in Nigerian case, you will see Finidi Josh maybe looking, eyeing, pressuring. And now when you're brought in, they don't give them reasonable contracts. They might even just give them 1 year contract to say, if you fail too much, you are off. That you can't do that with a foreign coach, because the kind of money you would have invested, whether he's failing or whether he's excelling or he will be there, you won't have any choice
the
because you
lady
know that
has
if
not
you break
started
that
working.
contract.
They already got him a big car. Eh?
I said it too.
He has not started working. They got him a big car. Now they are complaining. The same NFF that got it are now the one complaining. So me, I don't understand.
But it's Finidi that is complaining here that NFF start
NFF have not
bringing
been
them
saying
back.
annoying things to him. There's no way you come out to complain. The guy is on pressure. He's under pressure right now. We know. Everywhere. He's under pressure. But regardless,
But
that's it.
but 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 Mary, should we say, I know we're going to be having a sports analyst shortly to speak on this, but would you say that the blame should totally be on the coach? Because we know also what are the part of, of the players, talking about the goalkeepers and the rest, are they not supposed to play in part? So this failure over time, are we supposed to blame it 100% on Finidi?
If you don't have a good team, there is no way you can succeed in this. And how can you have a good team? It is by the coach, right? Is it not when a coach actually puts you in a man, that's when you play? So the thing, I feel like they didn't take much time to prepare. And you were asking me this earlier on, that are these people prepared? They did not prepare for this. The lineup is another problem. So it's not even about the keeper. The keeper is not the problem right now. The players. You heard what the coach was saying. Do we even have man of the match? You understand? Do you have people that can actually play? If the players are not doing well, then there is little the keeper can do.
For instance, yesterday, I think, I don't know if Enugu Rangers won a match or something, and they were accrediting the match to a particular person. I can't remember the Igbo name. Like, I saw over 100 comments calling the guy, well done, you did well. The credit goes to you. So that was the man of the match. So I'm thinking that Nigeria, our own team, I don't know what's happening with them, but I do hope that we're going to be seeing a situation where someday we'll play ball and we'll have man of the match. Daddy Chris will always clamor for number 10. Number 10, maybe that's what we should be looking at, even though we have one now. I was really hoping that Osime would, be around and all that. But from what we've seen so far, this back and forth with Osime and with Finidi. But right now, do you think Finidi quitting is a right move, Mary?
Um, Quitting. I feel like personally, if I'm him, I will, because I'm also complaining about him, right? If what you are giving is not being appreciative, people are complaining, and it's gonna affect your mental health. It's not gonna give you peace. Then it's better you step aside.
In
That is
essence, you people are now saying we should go for a foreign coach.
yes. If because do you know why? Let me tell you, they play the next match, and Nigeria still lose that match. Nobody will complain about the player. Have you been hearing people calling the players name? It has been Finidi, Finidi, Finidi. So instead of allowing it to get to that time when we might actually lose, because we don't even have confidence anymore that we'll win any match. So it's better he just quit. Let the person that we feel is competent enough come and step in and do the needful. So even if you are Finidi, if you are in his shoes, definitely you're gonna quit. Because what are you doing there? You're not regarded, you're not appreciated. So it's better you leave. That's just it.
Anyway, we'll go into sport proper and we'll go on a quick break. And when we return, of course, some are happy, some are sad. It's a mixed reaction. Some are saying Finidi is not actually the man for the job. I don't know what Nigerians meant by that statement, but I've seen the statement over 20
So things
times
like that
saying
they are
Finidi.
getting to him. He's a human now. It's getting to him. So you just need to
But
quit. Let
Mary, before now, he would have thought of it and he would have knew that, okay, uh football is pressure. Just like the media, you have to bring the news. Football is pressure. You know why? You have to win. Even though we already know that in every game there must be a loser, there must be a winner, but your own, you are expected to win, right, Mary?
so when he feels like he cannot change the system, what do you expect him to do? Is to leave. Because even if you allow Finidi to still coach the next match, it is the same thing. Are you expecting a change? No, there is no change. It is this same system he's using, and we cannot go anywhere with it. So if they find someone competent, fine, the person should step in and do the needful. We have tried Finidi, it's not working. Then let's try another person. But just that the time frame is short. Because right now I want to start getting a coach now. It is short.
So wait, I know they have a match with Rwanda and
Rwanda,
another country. They play that match,
no, not yet.
and so they are
And
supposed to go and so they're supposed to go without a coach.
no, so it means if Finidi is stepping out, trust Nigeria, they're getting another coach as soon as possible. And now they don't even know that one is good enough. Oh. People just based on record, whatever they've heard about the person, and they put the person because maybe as I know, Finidi has coached other clubs, right? And that's why they put him here, thinking he can actually do better. So right now they'll get another person that they feel can do better, but the time frame is short, very very short. That's what I'm
Anyway,
saying.
Mary, hold that
I
thought.
think
We'll
can
go
do
on
at
a
this point.
quick break. And when we return, we'll continue with sports. Of course, it's trending, it's topical. People are angry about Finidi's, stepping out of NFF. And Finidi is also saying that NFF have stabbed him in the back with that Range Rover, be with that G Wagon. I do not understand. Anyway, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about sports, what's happening with the NFF. How can NFF actually put their houses in order? Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Ooh la la! The second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of arts and culture, entertainment, business, and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion, and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262 274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5 OAY. Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at eventbrite.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come and experience a nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people.
Yeah, welcome back from that quick break. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and of course, we've been talking about topical issues, and now we are at sports. Sports. What is happening? Sports. Football is not for the faint-hearted. If you have BP, they used to say do not watch it. Because we saw from the last match, which South Africa and Nigeria, I think some months back, that killed a former lawmaker, a present lawmaker in Delta State. So it's not for the faint-hearted. And maybe Tufinidi does not have a thick skin. If you don't have a thick skin, how can you come and say you want to be Super Eagles coach? Naively well done. First and foremost, Nigerians we have bad mato. Hey.
I said it now.
If you win from now till next year and fail one, you'll be in trouble.
Before, if we lose match, we pick a particular player and blame them for not doing well in that match. But right now you can see that all the energy is being channeled on Finidi. Finidi is not the one that everybody is blaming. Have you seen them call any player's name? Now you did not do well. You are supposed to pass the match. You did not. The boy you did not do this one. You are not strong enough for the match and all of that. Your energy is now centered on Finidi. Finidi takes all the blame right now. You understand? So is that stressing? It's not everybody that can stand that pressure. It's not everybody. That's like I say, if I'm in issues, definitely I'm going to back out. Let the person that is competent come in and do the needful. So that's it.
Anyway, we want our sports analyst is already here. But we're just waiting. He's having issues with connection, so hopefully he will join us. But we do hope that Nigerians also, the fact that I think what Ever Sam told me yesterday, sports analyst. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get him here. He even wanted to speak because he has been so angry, telling me that how can our players, foreign players, respect Finidi? These people, only their wristwatches alone is more than the money, the whole contract of Finidi, and the money they've seen so far.
Now. They're the ones doing the job. You get. So definitely, we're really expecting Finidi to be richer than our players. There's no way it cannot be possible. Our players must be richer than him because the players are the one putting so much effort in the job. So that's just the work of a coach and the work of a player cannot be the same.
And also that the kind of contract our indigenous coaches are signing are not very good contracts, unlike foreign coaches. And so maybe next time before they take on any contract, they should make sure of the terms and everything. You cannot tell a foreign coach that if you lose 2 matches, you are off. You're going. But our own will always look down on them. And besides that, Osime also, that was actually, we know that was having issues in Napoli, where he was trading words here and there with the people, and he was not able to fight back or to talk so much. Now in Nigeria, he wants to talk so much. That's what Nigerians are saying anyway. I'm not the one that's saying it. And so they are very angry at the whole thing. And we do hope also that, but Mary, take the stories coming from the spot first. Let's see what's even trending.
Okay, the big story on the spot says the Nigeria connection. Stars of Nigeria descent at Euro 2024. And that's the big story on the Punch Sports Extra. And that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. And we have a story that says Okeze vows to defend 400 million title in Benin. And that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And here we have a story that says United told to pay 50 million pounds for Delight. And that story is on page 5 of the Punch Sport Extra. And Draper wins first ATP title in Stuttgart. And that story is on page 8 of the Punch Sport Extra. Enugu Rangers win 8th NPFL title. You can find that story on page 7 of the Punch Sport Extra. Atletico tag Omorodion unsettlable. And that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sport Extra. We have Seba 0 and England 1. Bellingham hands 3 Lions winning starts. We have another story that says Les Blues face Wonder team and test. And that story says Joshua moves ahead Fury in new WC rankings. And that's on page 7. We have another story that says NFF should ban Usibe for Unity outburst. And it's coming from Pity side. And that story is on page 7 on the Punch Sports Extra. Juventus leading Sanko chase. And that's on page 4. We have another story here that says Chelsea handed Olise boots. Chelsea handed Olise boots. And that's on page 4 of the Punch Sport Extra. Grealish open to City exit. And that's on page 8 of the Punch Sport Extra. And these are all the stories we have this morning on the Punch Sport Extra.
Yes, I want to first of all congratulate the Enugu Rangers. They win the 8th NPFL title. And
Congratulations to them. In the state league, they are pulling weight. They are doing well. When I talked about the state league, they say, how can you put them? You get. But I feel like if sometimes they pick players from there, mix them up with these ones we have, it will do well. But we keep on using same people over and over again. You can imagine Osimhen was actually playing for his club there. You get, and he had injuries. You expect him to come back and play for Nigeria. You get, when you see something from injury. But I wish they had other options. We will not, they wouldn't have been this clash between Osimhen and Finidi. But we lack options. We don't have so many options of these players that can stand out. But we are just working with 1 or 2 people for a whole federation. This is Nigeria. No, no. It doesn't work that way. If you have somebody like Osimhen again, would you be hoping on him to come and play to rescue Nigeria? But because it looks like we are out of option, we have to just use the one we have. And that one person cannot kill himself. You don't expect a player that has injury to come and do magic for you. So that's just it. Because the person will underperform, definitely. They're not strong enough to do this.
It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing that we have eligible players within, but we're waiting for. I'm very happy to see Eva this morning. In fact, I'm the most happiest person right now that Eva is here. Eva, good morning.
Yes, Princess, good morning, and thanks for having me.
Good
It's
morning.
always a pleasure to have you here. In fact, I just spoke about you a while ago that you were not able to join us, and the thing was paining me seriously. But thank God you're here now. Now, let's talk about football. Let's talk about sport. Let's talk about NFF, and let's talk
Yeah.
about you.
Mm.
Osime versus Finidi's clash, and of course, Finidi's working, should I say resignation or walking out of NFF. We saw on Vanguard this morning that Finidi is saying that NFF stabbed him at the back. But first and foremost, do you think that this performance of Super Eagles in the past two matches should be blamed solely on Finidi? Their failure.
Absolutely not. That's one of the things we do in Nigeria. I think I feel like it's a little bit of lazy journalism from some journalists and very lazy analysis from a whole lot of football fans. I mean, for a team to do well, it has to be collective. It's not just about the players alone, the coaches alone, and all that. It's a combination of the players, the coaches, the federation, and all of that. And if you ask me, our house, the NFL, is not in order. What we did is something that happened a few years ago, I think 3 years ago. We're repeating the same thing, but we're expecting a different result. It doesn't work out that way. It cannot be solely on Finidi. The players have to take responsibility. Finidi has to take his own responsibility. And then the NFL themselves too needs to take responsibility. You can't just appoint a coach May and then within 2, 3 weeks you're expecting him to beat everybody. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry, it's not solely on Finidi, but all the people involved need to take responsibility.
And where exactly did you think this failure came from? Two matches at a stretch. What do you think that we didn't actually get right as a football team?
First of all, it has to start with the federation. Is Finidi the right man? I think tactically he's not poor as a lot of people are saying, but does he have the pedigree? We're talking about the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles is the face of Nigerian football. It's not the under 20, not the under 17. This is the face of Nigerian football where you have the biggest players, the stars who plays all over Europe. Can you manage their ego? Can there be discipline in camp? And this whole thing is coming at a time where the players are just rounding up their season. They're coming to Nigeria for holidays and they are treating these games as well as holidays. So it starts from the NFL themselves. The appointment should have been done much earlier for whoever is handling the team to prepare very well. Like I say, we did the same thing 3 years ago. We sacked Gennard Raw just before the Nations Cup and then appointed Eguavon. Eguavon came, handled the Nations Cup. We could not make it to quarterfinal. And then we failed to qualify for the World Cup after not being able to beat Ghana in Abuja Stadium. I was there. And then 3 years later, we are doing the same thing. Immediately after a Nations Cup, we are appointing another manager that was supposed to have been appointed maybe February or thereabout. You're appointing him May and June. You want him to just go beat South Africa, beat Benin Republic. It doesn't work out. When your house is not in order, you can't give out a good result. I used to tell people that the results that you see on the field is as a result of the work behind the scene. And so when you don't do the right things behind the scene, you can't get the result on the field of play. If you get the result, it's just a fluke and it will last. And that's what just happened. So the appointment not coming earlier, the appointment itself, Finidi, despite not being I think he's new in the business per se, doesn't have the experience, doesn't have the authority over the players. These guys came for holidays, like I said. Before the match, we're seeing them playing charity games here and there. Some are coming to camp 2 days before the game, and they are playing 90 minutes. When you put all those things together, you just see that no, it shouldn't happen, and you don't get results with those kind of things.
Hmm. My colleague Mary did say so as well. But
Yeah.
now, what do you think at this point? That do you think this is a good timing? Finidi working out, and of course, we still have matches to cover to qualify us. Now, what do you think that what impact do you think or disadvantages will actually have on the team as of now that we need a coach critically is when we're not having a Finidi moving out of of his shoes.
I think, first of all, at the moment, there's a crisis there. We can't deny that. So, with what Osimhen did a few days ago, what's next? We're not sure. Would the NFF take an action against him? We don't know. Will Osimhen
Now,
himself apologize for
Peter
what he's
side
done?
also is on the sport paper saying that NFF should not actually ban Osimhen over that outburst. But we didn't know that Osimhen is saying that he already told Finidi why he was upset, and now Finidi is saying something else. So it's a story
But he
of
said they should ban. Oh. Peter's side has been on the side of the needy. He said they should ban Osimhen for that outburst, for the
Uh,
statements he made. That was what he said. He has been against him. And they should ban him.
okay.
yeah. Oh,
I
okay. Let
guess
me say
I
this.
guess
Yesterday,
go ahead.
I was yeah. Yesterday, I was on Instagram, and I was watching a video made by Colin Udo. Colin Udo is a seasoned journalist, a seasoned sports journalist who writes for ESPN and other top media houses. So when someone like Colin comes up with an input, you will know that it's not just a them say. It's most likely facts or a well-checked news. So according to him, he reached out to a few people at NFF, first of all, to confirm if Finidi actually said those things that have been reported. And those people at NFF said absolutely not. That Finidi never mentioned Osimhen. He never specifically called out Osimhen. He only complained that some of the players are not committed and that they might be having backing, but he didn't mention Osimhen's name. He didn't mention anybody's name. And then he
He
said
said he
he
has
reached out to
yeah.
Finidi himself. He reached out to Finidi himself, and Finidi confirmed that he never mentioned Osimhen. He never said those things that were reported. So where did this whole news come from? And Osimhen probably should have reached out to Finidi and say, coach, but I
But
called
I
you, but
told
I
you.
did this, but I did this. So why are you now saying that's when the coach will now be like, no, I didn't say this, or yes, I did. Then you can go out with your outburst in a more professional manner. But unfortunately, he didn't reach out. He just jumped into whatever he read or whatever he heard, and then that's kind of embarrassing outburst. It shouldn't happen. And so there's a crisis. So how do you settle that? That's left for the board. Are you going to sanction him? Are you going to call all the parties involved to try and settle them amicably? I really don't know. But what Osimhen did is actually wrong. And I think he should take responsibilities for his actions. And I don't know what next he needs to do, but probably reach out to Finidi first. And let's see, if Finidi wants a public apology, I don't know. If he wants a private talks one-on-one or wants a meeting with the NFF to resolve that particular issue, but something has to be done. There has to be a way to clean that mess. Let the entire public, entire football fan know that, okay, this shouldn't have happened and it was an error.
Now, as it were ever, it's as if though our own indigenous coach seems not to do right, and it's always an issue of back and forth each time they are brought into this position. Is actually we saw the fallout with Sunday Olise, we saw Iguavo,
Yeah.
and now we're seeing of course Kechi did well, but of course now we're not seeing Finidi. What do you think is the problem? Do you think now we should just focus on the foreign coaches and know that okay, we don't have a faith here in Nigeria?
That has always been my opinion about the Super Eagles job. I have always
Really?
advocated for a
Why?
foreign coach. I
Why?
feel like because I mean we are seeing what is happening right now. So some of these things never really happened during Pesero's era. Yeah, there were some controversies here and there, but not this level. We as Nigerians, we can't deny it. We have a thing for the white man. We are always loyal to them. See, a Nigerian coach might be tactically sound, but it's always very difficult to to handle the egos in the national team. Like I said yesterday, some of these guys are very rich. Their watches alone, crazy. Their sneakers, wonderful. The kind of cars they drive, and so they're looking at you as a Nigerian coach who, yeah, probably you were a great player then, but right now your account balance cannot measure up. And so you're telling someone what to do, and the person is looking at you and wondering who they, sorry for my language, who is this? So it's not easy to manage that. And then one other aspect people don't talk about, there's always going to be that tribal, issue. Ethnicity will always come in. I'm from the south. I want my captain to be from the south. And then somebody from the north is saying, no, he has to be from the north. Those things. But when he's a foreign coach, he doesn't know who is from the north. He doesn't know who is from the south. He doesn't know who is from the east or who is from the west. He goes ahead to pick the players that he thinks are the best players that can do the job. And then, even if there is pressure from NFF, some top dogs, he can handle that because, and what do you want to give to him? What do you want to tell him? You can ask, these people sign very professional contract, 2, 3 years or 4 years contract with clear terms on it. You can't just sack them. If you're going to sack them, you spend a whole lot of money just to sack them. So when you're coming with this extra pressure to fuel the player, they can bluntly say no to you, and you can't do much. But our local coaches, with what they are being paid, salaries being owed, if you pick up your phone and say, hey, I want this person to start, sometimes they don't have an option. So it's not just about the tactics, it's about these little things that people don't see, but those things matter. When you put those things together, you now realize, we saw the Nigerian team at the last Nations Cup. They were not necessarily the most attractive team to watch, but you saw the discipline from the players. Never seen a Nigerian team work that hard. They were running. That's because they're looking at the coach and he's telling you, you have to do it. If you're not doing it, you're out. But they won't do that for Finidi. If he asks you to run, you look at him and say, coach, I'm tired. And there's nothing he can do. So that's the first, that's the issue. I particularly feel like, get these foreign coaches. Some of them might not be as tactically sound, but they have the authority, they have everything in control. So they can get these players doing some of the things that our local coaches can do. Unfortunately, that's what it is. Until maybe when we get to the level that we have top coaches with authority that can handle the national team, I will always advocate for a foreign coach for now.
Anyway, Mary did say also that my colleague was just saying a while ago that sometimes we don't have options. For instance, Osimhen, it was down, and then look at the Enugu Rangers win yesterday, and we saw energetic young people. We saw how they played as if though their life actually depend on that match.
Yes.
What do you think? Do you think we should start looking inward? Because we're looking at the foreign our players now playing, they have their different clubs, and of course we know also that at some point, even if we bring these local ones in, they will still be bought over. Apparently one club will come and buy them off, but at least we'll make use of them for a period of time. And we've seen Osimhen issue now, that has played for his club, now he has injury, he cannot come to our aid. What do you think? How do you think we'll connect this now? Because we have local boys, local leagues that are actually doing well as well.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. Credit to Finidi, he actually invited a few local-based players, and some of them got the opportunity to play a few minutes. But for me, it's not always about a local-based player or a foreign-based player. Like I said earlier, the national team is the face of Nigerian football. Just invite the best players, irrespective of where they are coming from. If the best player you can invite is the Nigerian league, go ahead. If the best player you can invite is somewhere in England, somewhere in Italy, invite. Just select the best 25 or 23, 24 players for the Super Eagles, irrespective of their league. I'm not completely in support of we should have a quota for home-based player, a quota for foreign-based player. No, just select the best players from anywhere. select the best players that fit into your style of play from anywhere and go there and fight for the Nigerian flag. That's it for me.
Anyway, so what do you think is the way forward? You talked about NFF putting its houses in order. I remember so many years ago, I was actually into that beats sports. So I used to frequent the Glass House regularly, for
Okay.
press briefing. I was there at the unveiling of Stephen Ketchy, Sunday Olise rather. And
Okay.
we've seen that since that time up to now, we've been saying the same thing. NFF, put your house in order. NFF, put your house in order. So what do you think that, can actually resolve this? At this stage, as it's as if though there is no hope, and Affinity is working out, and we're seeing the players already throwing tantrum with the coach, talking about Osimhen, and then we're
Yeah.
also now we have a match ahead of us as a nation. Where do we go from here?
I want to first of all give credit to the sport minister. For the first time for a very long period, I'm seeing a sport minister who's actually concerned, who's actually ready to go the extra mile to see the Super Eagles of Nigeria succeed. I mean, he summoned a meeting immediately after the Benin Republic game and made a few moves here and there. So that's huge credit to him. Um, if he continues that way, put pressure on the NFF and let the NFF do the right thing, we might find ourselves doing good again. So for me, the way forward, it's go down to Europe or South America, wherever, get a good manager, someone that is very experienced, because there's crisis at the moment. So you need someone that is actually very experienced, that understands crisis management, not someone who comes with the same kind of energy, someone who is a bit calm, who could sit a player down, speak one-on-one to that player, talk to that player like a father, inspire that player, and give that player a reason to go out there and perform. So it has to be someone very experienced that can manage the crisis. There's a rumor already that there's a process that we might see a foreign technical advisor coming into the Super Eagles. So um, that's the way forward. But just make sure we're getting the right person, someone that is actually very experienced. That aspect of it is very important, because you don't try to quench a fire by pouring fuel. So you need someone with a cool-headed mentality that can sit down and discuss things in details, get these players back to the right mentality. So if we do that, and with the right support as well, I think we're not completely out. We could still grind results, and let's see where we go from there.
I
Talking
don't know where
about,
we're supposed.
you say if we can get the right person. How can you know the right person? Because before they brought in Finidi, they said he was the best option, right? We had, and I would do better. But right now, you see that it's not going as planned. So how can you really know the best person to coach the Nigerian league?
Yeah, it has to be. You have to pick different managers, put them together, interview them, ask them what they feel like they can do to salvage the situation. Their experience about African football, you check their record, the teams they have managed before, how well they've done, how well they've been able to manage those teams. Have they had serious crises? Have they managed it very well? Or are they the kind of manager that are always falling out with players? So you check their profile, you check what they have done in the past, you check what they can do. Let them give you review their CV, and let them give you an idea of what they can do. Someone that is very, very clear with an idea, not someone that is not sure, that comes up with I can try this, I can try that. Someone that is very clear with his idea, someone whose work can speak for him. And it's not out of place to say it's always going to be a gamble. There is no guaranteed success anywhere. It's a gamble, but at this state, it's a gamble that we must do and hope that it works.
Anyway, we have Mantis Ojete with us, but network won't allow him to speak to us. He's also a sports analyst as well. I am happy that you've said what we can do as a nation, and of course the NFF as a body representing us, the face representing us. It's been long coming, calling on NFF to always put his houses in order. We do hope, and we do hope that the players as well, like you said, they will start having respect for the coaches we have, whether indigenous or not. We see that Osime also the way it's at, but I saw a post ever. Somebody said that the way Osime is insulting or is the outburst there in his club, something happened, he couldn't say anything. And then now he's coming here to to throw tantrums and all that. And so this is
Exactly.
some of the issue. And you did say also their lifestyle, the money they are being paid in their club, and then they come and look down on the coach they have here. And I think that is another factor to it as well. But before we let you go, what do you think now that the Super Eagles as a team can do to make sure that our next match we don't see the fallout we saw from the two previous matches that has now brought us to this outburst now we're seeing left and right.
Yeah, first of all, get the coach. If possible, seek the opinion of some of the senior players. It's very important as well. When you get this coach, give him the necessary support. Whatever he wants, give him. Let them review what has happened in the past 1 year, the weakness, the strength of the players, and all of that. And then get back some of the senior players. I remember before the Nations Cup, while experienced players like Trust Ekong and Ahmed Musa were invited, a whole lot of Nigerians were, hey, these players are not playing, they are past their prime. And I kept saying, let these players be in the team. I don't care if they play or not. These are senior figures who are very experienced. These are some of the kind of players that are respected by the other players, that can actually talk to the players and they will listen. So I'll get back some of these players into the team. These are the people that will help you. There can be the middleman between the coach and the other younger generation. They can help. They are very experienced. They know how these things work. They've seen the highs and the lows of this team. So get back those players, Trust Ekong in particular, get Trust Ekong back to that team as quickly as possible. Get him to that team. He's the captain of he was the assistant captain of the team before now. So get him back to the team, get Kenneth Omeru back to the team, let them be there, help these younger players so we could go through this whole crisis, just go over it and try and see how we can find our way to the next World Cup. I don't know how they are going to do it, but they just need to find a way. They should not even bother about philosophy. Just bring out ideas on how to grind results, even if it means winning 1-0 till you qualify. I don't care, just one.
But can a football team actually go for a match without a coach?
It's not possible now.
Well, it depends. There are clubs or countries where the coach is sacked and someone within can actually take over. There might be
Exactly.
a player in the team who has a license, who has done his badge C or whatever, and has a license that can actually play and manage the team. So yes, it's actually possible, but not something that can happen in a long term.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you so much for your opinion. Like you said, NFF put your houses in order. Players too, you have to be up and doing. Select the right people, the right energy, and we should have the positive mindset as well. I think the players, there's a disconnection. They are not. They are not actually into each other. These are some of the factors as well.
Yeah.
And so what will happen to Finidi and the G Wagon now? Is he going to return it or go with it? Because me, I'm concerned about that one. No.
I don't have details of the contract, so I wouldn't know. I don't really know.
Anyway, Anyway, Ever Sam, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. We appreciate your time. I know you have limited time, so we're going to let you go now. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you
Thanks.
so much for having me.
You're welcome. Okay, you heard from our sports analyst. There are a lot of issues as regarding the NFF, from the body NFF to the players to the coach to all of them. They have issues, and
Just
until they are ready,
it's too
Mary
much.
said what?
I said the issue is too much. Oh, I
And so
agree with
until they are ready to sit down, go back to the drawing board, start all over, because you cannot keep tackling the issues of NSS from the top. You need to go to the root cause to know that, okay, this is where we are not, we're having the issue. This is where things are going wrong. And we know that other teams as well across the nation, across the world, are actually going through stress. But NFF own is just too much. I remember I've been covering sports for a long time, way back from Abuja. And it's always NFF, put your houses in order. NFF try and arrange. So it's I think the NFF as a body, that is where we should start from before we now go to the coaches and to the players. But first of all, let's know, go to NFF and know what's wrong with these people. They sit in that glass house. What did they do? I don't understand, man. Like he said, he gave kudos to the sport minister. So we do hope that with this new sport minister we have, we're going to see something different. He's going to take this very serious. After all, he's the sport minister. So maybe he should take this very serious. Anyway, that would be a good place to wrap up the show today. Thank you, viewers, for being on the show, and thank you for your time, your comments, and of course, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, X, and of course YouTube. Leave us with your comments, subscribe, and share this amazing content. Of course, don't forget also our ABB across Abuja, Lagos, and London as well. Is a home away from home, nothing but luxury premium. And of course, it's a place you can do your parties, your meetings, any kind of gathering, and your holidays as well as family. So place is well equipped, and we have a Wi-Fi, we have cars to help you explore the city. So do where to reach out to us via the number and the details on your screen. And of course, do not forget also to reach out to us to archive your activities on our monthly magazines, where you can showcase your brand, your services, your products, and your amazing self and your career as well. Don't forget the Nigerian week as well. That is fast approaching. It's just around the corner. You can partner. You can be a major sponsor as well. We have a week park activity that is going to be happening here. We have the Nigerian film screening. We have the film show. We have the fashion show. We have the award ceremony where we're going to be recognizing Nigerians that have done so well over time. Do well to be part of it. Just reach out to us to be part of it. It's a new week, new energy, positive energy, nothing. We don't want any negative vibes this week, so we do hope that you'll be your brother's keeper, and happy Salah again once to our Muslim faithfuls. We also urge Lagos residents to please be careful. The outburst of cholera. We're so sorry, Doctor Bodete couldn't join us. He's actually on the surgery right now, doing surgery. So maybe tomorrow is going to join us again, where we can actually have time to discuss what is cholera, how to contact it, and how to avoid it as well. That would be a long way to go. Mary, is a new week and it's holiday. Are you
you.
going out today to have fun?
There's no holiday for we in the media.
Another holiday, but maybe you have to close early. That's the good thing, and no traffic to hold you back as usual.
That's
That's
it.
one thing about Abuja. The roads are always very free. And when it's holiday, we like driving in Abuja because you have to, that traffic, that rush is not always there. Anyway, drive carefully. Still, even if it's holiday, don't drink and drive, and obey the traffic laws. Do well to be your brother's keeper. The president did say sharing. We should share this period, please. Make sure you share. Some people do not have, as they celebrate, give to others, and that will be a long way to go. Hopefully, we do this tomorrow again. I remain yours truly, Princess Cassie.
Ooh la la! The second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of arts and culture, entertainment, business, and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion, and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5. OAY. Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at eventbrite.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come and experience a nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than SRTV Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. SRTV goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your SRTV Shortlet apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. You can reach us by calling this number